My dad's been sick my whole life. He's had rheumatoid arthritis since I was a baby. As I've gotten older, he's just gotten sicker, and he's had 5 heart attacks. You know, each one worse than the last. Finally, the last one had done him in to the point where he couldn't take care of himself really anymore. It was time for me to, you know, step up and come home and take care of him the way that he would have taken care of me.
I went to General Motors as an opportunity to do something different and provide some stability to my future. You work very hard and very fast. They put me on a position that they couldn't get anybody to stay in because it was that fast. So here I was, you know, getting my work out every day, chasing vehicles, jumping in them, jumping out of them, and keeping up with the job, which made me feel great.
My dad's the best. You know, everybody says it about their dad, but yeah, my dad's better. Seeing everything he went through is what led me to wanting to become a nurse in the first place. That way I will have the skills I need to be able to take care of him. Whenever I was going through my advisory class to even see about going to, you know, nursing school, I found out that I wasn't going to actually be able to afford to go, that it was going to cost way more than I thought it was going to.
Unfortunately, it felt like I had pulled a muscle, and it was pretty intense, and as the shift went on, it became unbearable. They determined that I blew out 2 discs and did nerve damage, and it was a pretty painful experience, and more than anything, I just wasn't functioning. I just couldn't function. I had to have people carry me or take me in a wheelchair to get in and out of a car, or there was a point where the pain was enormous. There was no hope. I was in a very dark place.
I don't know, whenever you get used to when you get used to things going wrong constantly, and I mean, whenever you're stuck in this funk for years, you know, you don't expect anything positive to happen. It's like you almost give up.
General Motors was a great opportunity, but I was hired as a temp, so when I went through this injury, it was limited. My employment there was limited. Workman's comp lasted about 8 months, and then after that I'm on my own. I'm in my 50s and in a lot of pain and on my own. So that was pretty scary time. I had nothing going for me as far as a 401k, anything like that. I was pretty much, you know, paycheck to paycheck kind of person. So I was kind of looking at this like, where do I start? How does a person start at 50-some years old to rebuild their life?
All of a sudden, we had like a water pipe bust underneath our house, and they had to shut our water off, and half the house got flooded, and our electric bill was outrageous. Like, I don't know what was going on, to the point where we couldn't even afford to pay the mortgage payment there anymore.
I knew I had to do something to try to get the next foot in front of the other. I had a hard time when I first went back to school because technology is so different now. Because what they assume in that curve of knowledge, I was lost in. Even as minute as proper email etiquette, I had no clue. I was lost.
Honestly, I mean, not to, you know, I don't just throw around the word miracle, but Catholic Charities just happened to contact me telling me that I wouldn't have to worry about it because they would be paying for it themselves. Anything that I couldn't pay for myself, they would be taking care of. I felt more than blessed.
I really didn't know where I was going and what was going to happen and what I was going to do, and I was blessed with Catholic Charities coming into my life, and the people that are there are just shy of angels.
You know, you get a scholarship from one place, and you know, it's like you just get a check in the mail, or they have an actual person there on campus that calls you and sets goals with you and checks to see how you're doing, and there's tutors and everything that they have set up for you. They make everything available.
My vocational sponsor was right there all the time, offering tutors. Would meet me for coffee just to check and see how things were. I was just blown away with, I got a scholarship. I'm in my 50s and I got a scholarship to draft my own future. They paid for my books, they paid for my classes. If something came up, they even paid one time, my car broke down and it was going to cost like $75. They found the funds to take care of that so I could get back and forth to school. Amazing how they were just there to put it all together for me.
It's whenever I hadn't even thought about this emergency fund that they said that we had, and you know, whenever I thought emergency, I didn't really know what that entailed. But apparently, losing your house is, you know, that's a pretty big one, you know. So this apartment building had just opened up at these, you know, nicer apartments in the town that I live in, and they had a handicap unit. It was everything that he needed, and they contacted him and started working with the apartment complex. They took care of everything.
And I believe Catholic Charities was instrumental in giving me that hope that everything was going to be okay, and they were right. It is turning okay. It's turning better than okay.
Ever since we moved into the apartment and that initial deposit was made, we haven't gotten behind on anything. It wasn't just a scholarship. It was a life save.
I'm in a good place now. I'm in school. I will graduate in June with a degree in business management. I have the accounting certification. The way that they helped me and guided me and supported me it's absolutely been miraculous in my life. I can't express the huge light that it put into my life at a time when it was totally dark.
It's like things are, they're going where they're supposed to for the first time in my life, and I believe his life as well. And to try to imagine if Catholic Charity Scholarship wasn't ever there, if it wasn't there for me to, you know, even apply, I don't know, it wouldn't be a good place. That's all, it wouldn't be a good place. I would seriously be homeless. I didn't think about that until today. I thought about the great things that they've done. You know, Stacy, like I said, she's awesome. But thinking that if I wouldn't have got that, then I wouldn't have even had a place to live. And my dad, I don't know what would have happened with anything. It's awful to think about. I'm just glad I don't have to think about it. It's starting to actually make me nervous thinking about what if it wouldn't have ever happened. But I'm not there, so it's fine.